With less than a week left until October and a slew of major horror and Halloween-related films on the horizon, we are officially kicking off our Halloween reviews early. With so many franchise hits seeing new releases for the holiday, this year's theme is fittingly Halloween franchises. And we start the whole shebang off with a remake of the friendliest clan of monsters we know, the Munsters. Directed by Rob Zombie, better known for pulp horror splatter flicks, The Munsters is a longtime passion project of the director, who has for years expressed his love of the original series. Starring frequent Rob Zombie collaborators Jeff Daniel Phillips as Herman Munster, Daniel Roebuck as Grandpa Munster, and Sherry Moon Zombie as Lily Munster. The premise of the film is an origin story showcasing how Herman and Lily met, fell in love, and ultimately came to live in suburban America. Now, I will openly admit I am not a fan of Rob Zombie's filmmaking. However, I can see the pulp horror appeal he has to those who are fans. And with his proclaimed love of the Munsters on top of the clear evidence that he was attempting to remain faithful to the spirit of the original rather than twisted into the grindhouse-style horror he's known for, I had some hopes for this film. After viewing The Munsters, I can say that I was completely wrong, however, to believe that Zombie could ever create anything remotely adept. The first red flag should have been Zombie's casting of his long-term friends and family. Though Daniel Roebuck and Sherry Moon Zombie seemed promising as their characters in trailers, they, alongside Jeff Daniel Phillips as Herman, deliver horrible and over-exaggerated performances of the most basic stereotypes of their characters. Herman, a loving if dim-witted husband and father, has now become a complete buffoon, oblivious to everything around him. Lily, the clever matriarch who often keeps Herman grounded, has become an airhead, and the always scheming curmudgeon that is Grandpa has become twice as mean-spirited and nowhere near as lovable. They perform like cosplayers making a bad YouTube video, which is indicative of the entire production. Yes, it's not just the cast that feels like a bad parody of a parody, but the entire film maintains Zombie's cheap grindhouse style of filmmaking, missing the charm of what made the Munsters work. Zombie has zero sense of plot structure as the characters meander on from set piece to set piece. The movie is quite literally worse than being a feature-length episode of a show, as even episodes tend to have conflict, rising action, and resolution with character development. The Munsters learn absolutely nothing over the course of the film and are no different at its end than its beginning. In fact, the only major conflict wraps itself up entirely without any effort or involvement from the main cast. The charm of the original show was the fact that the Munsters were your stereotypical American sitcom family, who just happened to be monsters. They were fish out of water who had no idea they were fish out of water, as they viewed the rest of the world as ugly and peculiar. But deep down, they still maintained traditional moral values and were a loving family. Zombie's film, however, keeps the family in Transylvania surrounded by monsters and the macabre for more than 3/4 of the film's runtime. The characters are also played as being much more macabre themselves as well, losing the balance between strange and traditional values the original series held, coming off more akin to the Addams Family than the Munsters. When they do arrive in America, we get the briefest hint at the original formula before the film is over, leading to a film that's all poorly done slapstick, non-stop puns and gags with no straight man to play against. It's like a Jim Varney Ernest film without any of the charm or wit. The Munsters ultimately is one of the saddest attempts at filmmaking I've seen this year. Sure, it's full of Easter eggs and callbacks to the original show, and it's clear that, as Zombie has said, he is a fan. What's also clear, however, is that despite being a fan, Zombie has no understanding of why the original show was so beloved, or even how to put together a film at all at this point. I give Rob Zombie's The Munsters 1 out of 4 stars.